Good afternoon, everyone. This is an update on the tropics for August 28th, 2022. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot of tropical disturbances, and we are just going to get right into it here. So as you can see, here's the satellite imagery for the entire northern Atlantic basin. We have 4 tropical disturbances now highlighted by the National Hurricane Center. We have an area of concern, an area to watch in the next 5 days over here in the Caribbean. We have a 70% chance of development for Invest Now 91L, which is currently right here, and it is expected to be heading to the northwest. We have a little tiny Invest 92L right here. Again, just something to watch. And we also do have a tropical wave coming off of Africa. We have an area to watch as well for the next 5 days. So a lot to monitor and a lot to keep you updated on. So let's go ahead and look at the National Hurricane Center. As you can see in the most western tropical disturbance, this is in the Caribbean, just to the east of the Yucatan Peninsula in the Central America coastline. That does have a 20% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. It has been still at a 20% chance for a while now. We do have another tropical disturbance currently north of the red, which is Invest 92L. And as you can see, Invest 92L does have a 10% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. Not a big chance. So another thing to really worry about there, since it is pretty much in the middle of the Atlantic and really has nowhere to go. We do have now Invest 91L. This has a 70% chance of a cyclone formation in 5 days, which is quite a big chance as it is in the MDR region. It will be expected to develop into a tropical depression or tropical storm later this week. So that's pretty much our main storm to monitor right now, and we are expecting that to become Tropical Storm Danielle. We could also see Tropical Storm Earl soon out of one of these other tropical disturbances as they increase their chances to develop over time. We do have also another disturbance coming off of the western coastline of Africa. The tropical wave is still on the coast. It's still on land. So as it goes off of land, they will highlight that as a disturbance, the actual center of low pressure, as it does come off land as a tropical wave. Invest 91L satellite imagery doesn't have much convection with it, but we do have a definite circulation here, a very mid-level circulation as well as a low-level circulation here. With this, you can see a lot of these low-level clouds really wrapping around here this cyclone, and we do have a lot of convection near the center, which is not a big amount of convection, but it's a decent amount to really keep it going and to protect that sensor from any dry air or shear along the way. So we could really even see a possible tropical storm or probably tropical depression first off, even by Wednesday. With this type of circulation with it, it could really strengthen really fast if the conditions are really correct enough to really bump it up a notch. Now, since this is now an Invest, as you can see, we do have intensity guidance. We do have spaghetti models with this now, and as you can see, with intensity guidance, we have a lot of these that do reach tropical storm strength, but we also do have a lot of these that don't even reach tropical storm strength with those winds. But we do even have a few heading into category 1, even a category 2 hurricane here by around hour 168. So we're gonna have to watch this very closely. We have a lot of scenarios that Invest 91L could go through, and we don't have a direct path. We don't know if this is gonna be making landfall anywhere anytime soon. But we are going to have to monitor it very closely, as it could bring impacts to big places like the United States, the Caribbean, later on in its lifetime. Global hurricane models do bring this just north of Puerto Rico, just north of the Leeward Islands. And as you can, again, a lot of these do bring it just towards that area. So a lot of them do agree that it is going to bring it into that sort of track, which means that the U.S. could have a potential for this bringing impacts right near the East Coast. GPS and ensembles do bring it in sort of a Dorian track. As you can see, it makes its way just north of Caribbean, and it does make its way just right near the Bahamas, but really just like kind of turns a little more eastward than the Hurricane Dorian in 2019. but definitely a very similar track, to say the least. This definitely probably won't be like Dorian at all, but again, it's one of those storms that typically just heads north of the Caribbean and really just kind of teases the eastern coastline of Florida and the Carolinas and stuff like that. So we really have to watch this again for possibly bringing some impacts to the United States here later next week, as that is about 216 hours out from now. So that'll probably be next weekend as we watch this throughout the next few days and see what it really decides to do. And here's the GFS model here. This is going to be the 12Z run. We typically look at the 12Z run as I'm making this video around 12 p.m. Central Time. And as you can see here, we have the tropical wave. We have Invest 91L down here. We also do have a bit of Invest 92L up here. We have the tropical wave that's not really showing up on the GFS yet, but I think some of this rainfall could be related to it in South, kind of Western Africa. And we also do have the tropical wave that still is in the Caribbean here, South Dominican Republic. It may have moved westward overnight. The GFS does have some confidence with that will still develop in the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to move forward. As you can see, we do have some defined circulation like we saw in the satellite imagery. Definitely some defined circulation on the GFS model. Let's go on and move forward, though. As you can see, we're moving forward to around Tuesday, even Wednesday. This is when we could see that next tropical wave coming off of Africa around Wednesday or Thursday. And then we do see some sort of development with this other tropical wave in the Caribbean. And we're going to be moving forward even more. Still not much development. But as we move forward into around Thursday, even into Friday, we do see some gradual development with these tropical waves here. 995 millibars is right near a tropical depression. You could see right near the Yucatan Peninsula. And as you can see, just north of Leeward Islands, we do see 1009, but definitely some circulation still that is tightening up. And by next weekend here, we could possibly see a tropical storm making a landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula. Things will change, but again, things to monitor here. And not really much development at all with Invest 92L. As you can see, not much circulation. There is circulation there, but it's really not strong at all. And we really see some really strong development with this one in the Gulf around Sunday. So not this Sunday, of course, but the next Sunday, we could see possibly a tropical storm or hurricane in the Gulf that we will need to watch very closely. We again have multiple more tropical waves coming off of Africa that could lead to some more tropical storms, tropical cyclones, or whatnot. And as you can see, look at that. It does go through a rapid intensification according to the GFS model in the Gulf, and even goes down to 977 millibars, which is quite a strong tropical cyclone if that does happen. As you can see, this really strengthens here finally east of the Bahamas, gets down to 994, and keeps strengthening here down to 967. As you can see, this is going to be Wednesday of September 7th, and the GFS model really pulls us into a very strong hurricane as it nears right near the east coast, but doesn't quite bring many impacts, mainly warp currents, if that does have that same scenario in real life. But as you can see, it just kind of goes in between the east coast and Bermuda, really makes a close approach to Bermuda. But mainly a fish storm, honestly, if that scenario actually does happen. That's 384 hours out from now, but when that does become a hurricane, that's about 220 hours, so just doesn't really show much hope of development here throughout its lifetime until that one in the Gulf of Mexico makes landfall into Mexico. That's when it really pops up, it looks like. And then those secondary tropical waves, those don't really bring much development according to the GFS model. But again, things can change. Things will change. Things have been changing in the models for the past week, as they usually do. We can't take one run as a lock-it-in situation or anything like that. So that's why we look at the European model, so we can really see its opinion as well on this. This is the 0Z run. We'll go ahead and look at the 00Z, which was loaded overnight. And as you can see here, we do have that Invest 91L. and that does move up the Caribbean. It goes into the Bahamas as not really much. Still have a lot of circulation with it, however, by September 7th. That's 240 hours out from now. So a little late on the European model, and this does agree with the GFS model on the track, but just a little late. Again, it is expected to be going right towards the Bahamas here, not bringing impacts as of this time. Again, mainly rainfall as of right now, but again, that's 240 hours out from now. That's until September 6th. That would be next Wednesday. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So things will change in that time frame, and I will have daily updates until then, until this actually makes landfall somewhere in the Caribbean or even into the United States. We really don't know, but this could also become a hurricane in that time frame. Again, things will change rapidly every single run, so stay tuned for more updates. As still, we don't have a ton of information still, but at least we did get some information and data from those spaghetti models and intensity guidance that we could see possibly a tropical storm making impacts here in the Caribbean or even the United States very soon in early September. If you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Turn on post notifications. Again, daily uploads on tropical updates have been going for a little bit, so make sure you do stay tuned for more updates, as again, like I've been saying, things will change, and these are just computer models, so they really don't know even over 100 hours out, and they could change dramatically or they could just change in the slightest. It really depends on the day, really. So share this video with any friends or family who may want the latest tropical updates, but as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.